Do it.
All right, so here is a joke, a pickup line for you to use on your wife. All right, so.
Oh, okay.
All right, so if you go up to her and say, "Hey, I know there's been a shortage of toilet paper lately, but I can be your Prince Charmin."
Oh man,
So bad.
that one's good. So relevant. So relevant.
Yeah, so relevant.
Oh man,
I got a
too
gang
good.
of them.
I'm gonna try it out.
Gang
I'll let you know how it goes. All
All right. Yeah, let me know, dude. I want to know.
I'll report back.
Okay, thank you.
Oh man.
Jeez.
All right. What's up, everyone? Today we're talking about the tech we want to see in the future. It's Friday, March 27th, 2020. Welcome to episode 6, of the Ginger and the Beard podcast. What's up, everyone? I'm AJ, a.k.a. The Ginger.
And I'm Reese, a.k.a. The Beard.
And in this week's episode, we're building on what we talked about last week and pondering on the tech we want to see in the future. Maybe serious, maybe fun. We're also going to spend some time talking about tech news, of course, some new video games, really exciting stuff, and of course, some major UFC news. But first, Mr. Reese, Mr. Beard, how are you doing this week, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling great. You know, Corona hasn't touched me yet, and I got it about 10 feet away at all times. No Corona today, buddy. 10 feet.
You're beyond the expectation.
That's how I live my life.
We should all be living by your standards.
Just go. The bar is set here. I live right up here, buddy. How about you?
I'm good. I'm doing really well. I'm very glad it's Friday. Very glad to be sitting here talking to you, sir, and getting ready to pour myself a nice, tasty beer.
Ooh,
It's been a week. It's been such a week. I'm trying to sit here and just take a breath and relax and just kind of
busy.
Unwind from a mad week. We talked about it last week. Coronavirus is keeping us at home, which is a good thing. It's not bad. And honestly, we've had a lot of time to spend together as a family. And, it's weird. You go to work on a normal week, you go to work every single day. And for me, you get to see your kids maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. Whereas now I see them all day, every day, which is awesome. And also extremely stressful and exhausting.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, it would not be if I were not also expected to be working at the same time.
Yeah, I get that, dude.
Yeah, it makes it challenging. But fortunately, Shayna has been home all week too, and we came up with a pretty comprehensive schedule where we're like, okay, I have to be working at these times, you have to be working at these times, and we're kind of taking turns with the kids. And sometimes during naps and things like that. Today, both kids napped. That's a very rare occasion.
Mark this day. Mark it down.
Yes, just circle that one on the calendar. We'll look back on that. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It was good because we both got to sit there kind of in silence for a little bit and just get stuff done, which doesn't happen very frequently. So, you know what? We're adjusting to this new lifestyle.
Sounds like today was very fortunate for you. That's awesome, man. I like to hear that. I got good news. For today. I do.
Yes?
We've been waiting for 2 weeks to get our freezer, our deep freezer, and it came in today, finally.
Ooh,
so
nice.
You know what? Now we can freeze some stuff and last longer. We might go out one more time and just stock up on some things, and then after that, lay low for a little bit longer. But I'm hoping that we're gonna hit the curve soon, right? We're gonna hit that curve and start heading back down. That's all I care about.
It's so hard, man. This is kind of hard. I mean, obviously, no one that I know personally has coronavirus yet. I think it's eventually going to happen. It's only a matter of time. But no one so far that we know has it, which is a great thing. But it also makes it hard because you're like, this isn't affecting me in a crazy way yet. And it just feels so weird to sit in your house all day long. So this afternoon, we even just went around and just drove around town just to get out and see people and see buildings and things to make sure that the planet hasn't burned down yet.
Yeah. We just
it was
watched,
so weird too. I was gonna say it's so weird. We just drove by, we went through town center, which is the big city area of Virginia Beach, and we went by a Cheesecake Factory, and there was like a line out the door, but it's not because they were busy inside. It's because there's only a certain number of people allowed in the building at one time, right? So all these people were lined up waiting to get their takeout orders, and they were all spaced out, like, perfectly spaced out. Like they looked like they were about 6 feet apart. And I'm like, good for you guys. Definitely smart. So I'm like, you won't catch me in that line. Sorry.
Yeah, it is kind of scary that America's got like the highest amount of cases right now. I mean, there's definitely some variables, like maybe we just have more tests, but
yeah.
The fact that we've hit that level kind of concerns me. I know I've seen other countries that are dealing with this pandemic, but they've shut things down, man. They just shut everything down.
Yep.
And they're not having these problems that we're having. But also they don't have the burden of the economy that we have. I mean, our economy helps to drive a lot of the world's economy. So,
right.
Kind of, I can understand that there's a big decision that needs to be made. But in my opinion, health comes first, because if you don't have the people, well, economy doesn't really matter,
Yeah. And I don't follow much of stocks and stuff like that, but I have heard that it's kind of on an uptick right now, which that's good news, I suppose.
Yeah, this week ended better than last week. That's for sure.
Hey, better's better.
Yep, I'll take whatever I can get. So yeah, it's been a rough one, but anyway, man. What have you been drinking?
And we made it to episode 6 of the podcast, and this is, I've been waiting for this moment all day.
I have too. I'm very excited to be here.
A beer. Yes.
Ooh.
I've been waiting for a beer.
Now
Let me ask you, Reese, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
What am I drinking? My good friend, if I could find the bottle opener, I would tell you. And here it is. We found
Shoot your teeth like a real man.
Yeah. Do you want me to? I'll do it.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. I've done it before. Backwoods Bastard by Founders. I'm sure you've all seen Founders from the previous episodes. But good sir, this is a bourbon barrel aged Scotch ale. And if I could get it open with this janky tool that I have, I might be able to show you me pouring it. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Take your time. No pressure.
Boom. We did it. We got it open. You guys ready for the pour? Here comes the pour.
For it.
Boom. Look at that. Delish. Oh my gosh.
It's a nice color.
Every last drippity drop right there. And, the bubbles aren't completely uniform on top, but that's okay. Smells sweet. Sweet, caramelly.
I love a caramelly beer. You say caramel or caramel?
Caramel. I say caramel for some reason. I don't know.
Caramel? Caramel? I don't know.
So this is 11% ABV, so watch out.
Good Lord.
Yeah, let me just read this little tidbit from their website, right? So expect lovely, warm smells of single malt Scotch. Oaky bourbon barrels. I definitely got that smoke. I got that. The sweet caramel. There it is in roasted malts. A bit of earthy spice and some dark fruit. I don't know what that word is. Scintilla.
Dark
a
fruit?
scintilla. You know what a scintilla is?
I have no idea what a scintilla is.
I don't know either.
I know what a chinchilla is.
I know what a chinchilla is. I don't know what a scintilla is. Anybody watching, let me know. But it's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate.
I'm excited just listening to you.
Dude, I want to share it with you. I want to share it with everybody.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It looks good. It looks good and it sounds good.
I'm so excited for this. Okay, enough. All right, buddy. What are you drinking?
All right. I've got something that's pretty relevant to our stream here, considering you and I are both nerds in our own capacity.
Yes.
And also beer lovers. So why not combine the best of both worlds and pick up a beautiful Pils nerd?
Oh, dude, I love the bottle.
How clever is that? A little bit of 8-bit action there, some video game action.
Is that Galaga?
I don't know,
man. What is that?
I'm not sure.
Is that I want some.
It's pretty cool, though. Yeah, I mean, obviously the label is kind of what attracted my eye when I went to pick this up.
I just want that label.
Right? It's pretty cool. Maybe I can peel it off for you and save it for later. But this is it's as the name suggests, a Pilsner. and it's actually coming out of Brothers Craft Brewing, which is actually in Harrisonburg, Virginia, so pretty local. And I love the label. I'm a marketing guy, so I love some alliteration. Here we go. Ready for this?
Okay.
Get a little bee action here. Brewed and bottled in the Blue Ridge by Brothers Craft Brewing. Oh man, if that doesn't excite you, I don't know what does. All right.
Ooh,
there's my little nerd coming out. I realize how dirty this glass looks now that I'm pouring this in front of a light.
I thought
it
the
is
same
a clean
thing.
glass. Oh my gosh, there we go.
Whoa, hey, calm down. Got excited.
Well, this has been sitting out for a little bit as we prepared for this the show. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but I actually gave a little taste test before we started recording. It's a Pilsner, so it's nothing too crazy. I'm usually an IPA guy, more into the stouts lately, but these Pilsners are definitely little easy drinkers. It's only a 4.6, so if you're looking for something light to kind of just help you unwind at night, then give it a shot. But
with springtime approaching, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like a good. It's a good outdoor warm weather beer for sure, but I may need something a little extra after this. After I finish it off, we'll see.
With a little bit of alcohol in it.
A little bit, yeah, a little something stronger.
Nice. That's what's up.
But
dude.
Yes. What are you guys drinking out there? You guys listening?
That's a good question. Is anybody drinking any bourbon, any scotch, any beer, any wine?
Ooh.
Mead?
Are you
Gin?
a wine drinker? Do you drink wine? I don't know if I've ever seen you drink wine.
I have a little bit of wine with my cheese,
I have some wine with my cheese.
With a little bit of French fries, some French fries in my wine, some cheese.
Oh man, some French fries and a wham burger.
A little wham burger. Call the wambulance while I'm drinking my wine. Wine. I drink wine. I like wine. My wife and I, she drinks wine more often than I do.
Yeah.
She's more. I shouldn't say more often, but like she prefers wine over beer. So she would take a glass of wine over a beer, and we're in the middle of Virginia here, so we get plenty of options for wine. It's really nice. How about you?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you drink wine? I don't think you do you?
I do not. I've tasted a few wines in my day, but nothing crazy. Shayna was the same. She used to kind of like enjoy that and like sangria, but honestly, what did it for her was we went on, I believe it was an anniversary. I can't remember exactly. I think it might have been our second anniversary or maybe first. I can't remember. But she got a frozen wine slushy from someplace. And like it was delicious. She enjoyed it and she drank all of it, but it was like super hot outside. I think we were in Myrtle Beach actually, but it was super hot outside and it just made her stomach her turn. Like it made her super sick. And then ever since then, like the smell of wine just like completely turns her stomach. So she hasn't, if she's not drinking it, I'm definitely not picking any up from the store for myself. So
more beer.
I just get beer.
Beer.
Oh, I was gonna ask you actually while we're on the beer subject. How have you been stocking up? Did you stock up before the zombie apocalypse, or you just been brave?
Last bottle.
Oh no!
Last bottle right here. But
no.
I got a bunch of bourbon. So I got about 5-6 bottles of bourbon.
Okay.
So I'm not really hurting for anything. But as far as beer goes, yeah, man, that's it. And we got wine. We got wine too, but no more beer. But again, I might go out one more time and just grab a plethora of beers. So,
yeah.
How about you? Are you stocked up?
I think I probably got like, I don't know, maybe like 8 left, which is that's not bad. Okay. I'm doing all right.
You drink a couple here and now, but not too often, right?
I drink, not quite one every night, but almost. So I can last a little bit longer.
There you go.
So
I think, I'll probably bust out some bourbon for the next show potentially.
Oh,
but
we'll
what? See. We'll see.
There are no rules here.
No holds barred. I might just bring the whole bottle. Why not?
Get real crazy.
Getting out there. I might not be able to talk by the end of the podcast, but no, I'm just kidding. I know. I think we will probably go to the store at some point. I know we need to buy more meat and get stocked up and ready to go for the the coming weeks. So I'm figuring this week we'll probably go out, and when we do, I'll make sure to kick anybody that gets too close to me. I'll cough on anyone so that they don't get close to me, because I don't have it.
Strategy.
As long as it's a good offense, right? The best offense is a good defense. So as long as I'm coughing on other people, they won't come near me.
I like that. I like that strategy.
Yeah.
Very solid.
I think it'll work.
Yeah, you know what? My allergies, dude, have been unreal. Like, the pollen is insane, and I had the bright idea earlier in the week to like lift right here in front of me. People cannot see, but right in this area, there's a window, and I had that open while I was working, and also we're outside a lot today with the kids, since it was like super nice and like 70 degrees, maybe like 75, and just like after that, my allergies have been lit up.
Yeah.
So if you guys hear me coughing or sneezing or sniffing, it's not the coronavirus; it's the allergies.
So I heard that the symptoms of the coronavirus aren't typically they're not similar to the common cold. So it's not like sniffling in a cold cough, you know? It's basically like a very dry, itchy throat followed by trouble breathing and a lot of lung coughing, and like pneumonia type symptoms. So I just read that today. Source from Prince William's Hospital.
Oh, are you being serious or that joke?
No, that's serious.
I did. Well, you know, I don't have any of that, so we're good. So
yeah,
far.
You're good. That's what I was saying. Is because you have the sniffles, so you're good.
Yeah, we're safe. All right, sir. Well, so anyways, yeah, you guys out there, let us know what you're drinking tonight. Maybe it's tonight, maybe it's tomorrow night. Let us know. Leave us a comment on YouTube. Send us a DM on Instagram, wherever you guys are watching this. Let us know. What are you drinking tonight?
Yes, please. I want to know.
All right, so shall we move on to our main topic?
Yeah, man. I think we should. I'm really excited about this topic.
You have some creative ideas. I'm excited to hear you talking about them.
Are we going to hit him with that transition?
Hit him with the transition.
Boom, here it goes. Hey, we're back. Oh my gosh, what was that? What happened?
Oh.
It was like a transition or something.
It's too excited, bobbling my head. In reality, some BTS for you guys. I can't even hear the music, so I'm just bobbing my head because... All right, so our main topic this week. So last week we talked about how it's weird that we take so much tech for granted and we don't realize that we're living in the future every single day.
Yeah.
We're going to build on that, as we mentioned at the top of the show, and talk about the tech that we want to see in the future, which is why the name of this episode is It's Our Future Tech and We Want It Now.
Right now.
Nice little
right now.
JG Wentworth excitement for you guys.
Yeah,
future
for future tech.
Yeah, you gotta love some regional TV spots.
Hey, I do my best.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, the tech we want to see in the future. You should kick us off this week, Reese.
Yeah. So, AJ, I'm gonna need you to get me that future tech now. Name that. Do you know that movie? I'm probably not doing a good job. The Office?
Oh, yeah, The Office. I'm like, wait a second.
Or no, Office Space. Office Space. Anyway, TPS reports. Anyway.
The most highly quoted movie of all time.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started off, right? So the first thing I was thinking about, right, is how can I improve my daily getting ready processes, you know? Like, for consumer technology, I wasn't really thinking about cars and phones so much. I was thinking about, because cars and phones, phones are pretty advanced right now. I'm happy where phones are. You know, cars, hey, we're getting there. We got a long way to go still. But what things haven't been really touched in a while as far as the tech boom goes? And so I was thinking about, not much is left, but I was thinking so what do I use on a daily basis to get ready? Well, when I'm brushing my teeth and, combing my hair and washing my hands, what's right there in front of me? A mirror, right? So I'm thinking, why aren't there connected mirrors at this point? They should have it set up. And this is what I'm thinking, right? And I think this would be a fantastic idea. And it might be out there, and I might just not be aware of it yet. That's very possible. All of these might be out there, and they're just not commercialized to the point where it's consumer ready, for the large scale. Yeah. But I'm thinking, while I'm sitting there brushing my teeth, a timer could be on there saying, hey, brush your teeth for 2 minutes. I'm combing my hair. You don't really got to be focused on anything. Show me my meeting agenda for the day. Show me my schedule. Show me the news, right? When I'm standing in front of my mirror, turn the music on, okay? Stuff like that. If I have like my smartwatch on and my smartwatch is in a certain vicinity of the mirror, turn my music on. Wouldn't that be a good idea? I'm just thinking about all of this different stuff, and you could have like a Twitter feed going on. You could have all this stuff built into the mirror that's like, it's not really essential, but it's just nice to have it there. Now, would people buy that? What do you think, AJ?
Dude, people buy everything. Yes, people would buy it. And I actually looked it up as you're talking about it. I can't find any like readily available for purchase, but I found some DIY, like build your own smart mirror, where people are literally putting monitors behind two-way glass, and hooking it up to like a Raspberry Pi, like a super small computer, and doing it that way. I guess with a Raspberry Pi, you could probably get some voice assistant capabilities built in, so you could probably use Google's API and use like a Google Home or something integration to pull in some of that information. But that'd be really hard to do, and that would take a lot of effort. So yeah, I'd be in for it. I mean, I like my house is not super smart yet. You and I both have some smart home gadgets, but it's not all super interconnected. But I could definitely see the use for that. I mean, you probably spend a lot of time, more than I do, in front of the mirror trimming and maintaining that glorious beard of yours.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of work, No, but seriously, I spend at least 10 minutes a day. At least 10 minutes. Brushing your teeth for 2 minutes.
My teeth, shaving a little bit, trimming up my hair, which I can tell kind of in the mirror. I did a bad job last time.
Oh, I can't tell. You're good. But okay, but like so maybe not so much for guys, right? But think about how long
for the ladies,
females, ladies have to spend looking in the mirror, right? Doing their hair, straightening it, combing it, doing their makeup, making sure everything's looking right for the guys out there or the gals, whatever, So I'm just thinking, it's a missed opportunity right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. When I was thinking about this stuff, and we'll go over my first one in a second, but when I was trying to think of this stuff, I was like, what? Dude, it's almost like impossible to think of something that's not already out there. So you did a good job coming up with some of these.
Well, let me get through my next two, and then I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so and I want to go through these because they kind of connect to the mirror, right? So I kind of already mentioned it, but like toothbrush, not toothbrush. What am I? 3 years old?
Brushes.
Brush your teeth, brush your tooth. But a toothbrush, right? So you have your standard, there's no mechanisms in it, toothbrush, all the way up to your like Sonicares that like vibrate the plaque off of your teeth, right?
Yes.
So, but you still have to stand there and move it all around your mouth to get all of the different spots. So why isn't there, and I think I have seen it recently, but it's a new thing. You might be able to find this online. Just put an insert in, rather than having to brush your teeth, because you're occupied. For those 2 minutes that you're brushing your teeth, you can't really do anything else. I mean, I guess you could have your other phone and be doing something, but, while you're brushing your teeth, I mean, just put this mouthpiece into your mouth and let it do the work. You could be off folding clothes or getting dressed or doing something. You could be showering with this little mouthpiece in that's just brushing your teeth and all. And it's like, just leave it in. And you could put different whitening stuff in there. It could have ultra purple. I'm sorry, not ultra purple.
Ultra purple. Ultraviolet.
Gosh, ultraviolet. Yeah. Jeez.
Brain. Ultra purple.
Brain disconnect here. My desk is like purple right now, but yeah, ultraviolet lights, whitening your teeth while you're doing it.
That 11%.
What's that 11%? I've only had like 2 sips. Darn Corona.
All right.
Anyway,
let me interrupt you here, but this exists.
It does.
This exists.
But it's like marketed towards kids right now, right?
No, you can buy this for $40. $40 you could have this, apparently. Let me hit you with a screen share.
The future is here, if that's the case. Share your screen, because I want to see it.
Here it is. You ready for it? It's called the 360 Sonic Brush.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
This is it, man.
There it is.
This is everything you've ever wanted.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the future. We're there.
For $40, you can get this. Now, obviously, it's got 728 5-star reviews on their own website, but, let's take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, it looks like you just put all your chompers in there and turn it on and let it do its thing.
You know what? I accept this. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's there. I'm not even bummed out because I remember seeing it, but it just didn't seem like it was like marketed towards people just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna play that, but I can't mute it.
What were you playing? Oh, some music.
There's a little video on their thing, but I can't. There's no mute button. But yeah, ultrasonic, 15,000 vibrations per minute, blasting plaque with one of the fastest built-in. Oh, that's a typo. One of the fastest built-in motors. That's an accident. Okay, I know my wife's out there listening. She always calls me a jerk for like proofreading people's stuff. I don't mean to, guys. I do it for a living, and I just can't help it. Okay,
it is.
So
what
I
it
should
is.
send them a note. I'm gonna email webmaster@360sonicbrush.net and say, hey, there's a typo on your homepage.
You should. Give me a free one for finding that typo.
Right. So, anyways, I'll stop.
I gotta buy one. I guess I'm gonna have to buy one. Shout out to Sonic Brush for coming out with this thing. It's $20 off right now. I might just get one, and I don't know. I'll shuffle some cards while I'm doing my teeth brushing.
It's probably $20 off for a reason, but you should try it. We should try it and then report back. Maybe next time on stream we should both put our teeth brushers in.
Teeth brushers. I love it.
Our teeth brushers.
Oh, we should. But think about it, right? Like, it's not like a global thing. Like, it's not in every house yet. So it's probably not that good yet.
It makes sense to me, though. I mean, because think about what you could do with your hands for those 2 minutes. I could pop that thing in, and then I could shave my mustache while I'm teeth are being brushed. I could shave my mustache, right?
Yeah.
Or I could put that thing in and put my clothes on for the day or something. So much efficiency.
Exactly. Tie your shoes.
Tie your shoes. Absolutely.
I don't know. Whatever else, right?
Speaking of shoes.
Change your kid's diaper.
Yeah.
Hey, if they got them for kids, you don't want your kid to talk for a little bit. There you go.
Brush your teeth. Be quiet.
Listen here. Brush your teeth, son. Leave it in for 70 minutes.
70 minutes.
70 minutes. Okay. All right. So that's cool, but I'm skeptical. If they come out with a Sonicare one that's $400, that one's probably going to be good.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So,
okay. It's good if it's expensive.
All right. One more thing around the area of sanitization and getting ready in the morning. Okay. So this might be a thing also. And what I'm talking about is actually two more things, but they're kind of connected. Efficient sanitization dishwashers inside your house, right? So they might have this on the industrial level. So what I'm trying to say by efficient sanitization dishwashers is when you set your dishwasher right now, it just sprays a ton of water, wastes a bunch of water, and shoots out the soap, and it takes an hour, 2 hours, right? Why isn't there something now? You could use superheat. You could use ultraviolet lights to kill the germs.
Yep, ultra purple.
You could use better jets, ultra purple. You could use better jets. Just make it more efficient so that it only takes you, put your dishes in there. It should only take you 10 minutes at this point. And it shouldn't be using so much water.
I agree.
Am I out of line here? Am I out of line? Am I requesting too much?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an antiquated technology if you think about it. I used to work at Best Buy, right? And I worked in the what they call it, digital imaging department. We sold cameras.
Okay.
And I was situated next to the appliances department. So whenever that appliances guy wasn't there, I had to cover his spot. So I had to sell dishwashers, and I'm this one has 20 decibels. This one's got like 15 decibels. But they both spray water and soap all over everything.
So
this one's nobody quieter.
So that's the problem then. Nobody cares about how efficient it is. They just want it to be quieter so it doesn't bother them.
And I'm like, this one sends you a text message when it's done.
Ooh, so that I kind of like that idea.
If you have, if your dishwasher's in the east wing of your mansion and you sit in the west wing, you know when it's done.
Well, you know when to tell your maid to empty the dishwasher.
Yeah, because if you can spend $4,000 on a dishwasher, then you probably have a maid.
Probably. And I mean, it should be talking to you. It should just yell across the house, "Hey, come get these dishes out of me." Yeah. Okay.
I wonder how many voice controlled dishwashers there are out there right now.
That's a good question.
Hey,
you
Alexa,
know what would solve for this? Robots.
What? Yeah. That's what we should
have robots. I'm
robotic
just saying.
Maids.
Just robots. That's not where I'm. That's not my next one, but I mean,
you and I both have robotic vacuum cleaners.
Oh, that's right. I got Oofy. If only I could train Oofy to wash my dishes.
You could just lay your plates on the floor and let him run over them.
I don't think my dogs would like that.
Actually,
YouTube might like that.
Yeah, dogs love dishes. My dogs try cleaning the dishes before the dishwasher gets to clean them.
Oh,
as I'm loading the dishwasher, they're like licking up in there. I'm like, dude, get out of the dishwasher.
Calm down, sir. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, last one, and then I'm going to pass it over to you. Sanitization hand stations. Okay, right now, this is COVID related. Hi, Luna.
Mm-hmm.
My little puppy is here, and she wants some attention. Sorry about this.
She heard you talking about her.
She did hear me talking about her. I want to show her, but she won't come over here. Should I just go get her?
Go for it, man.
All right, hold on. And then I'm going to talk about sanitization. 1 second. I'll be back.
Yes. Yeah, while he's chasing his dog out there. Do you guys have dogs? Let us know. I want to see some pictures of your dogs. If you have pictures of dogs, send them to us on Instagram. Tag us. We love doggies. And Reese has some cute little doggies, let me tell you.
Oh, gosh, sorry about that. But she wanted some attention. All right, I'm going to just hold her here so y'all can see her. But sanitization hand stations,
look
okay?
how cute.
I know, she is. This is Luna. So what I'm saying by that is, right now, okay, when you go to the restroom, first off, like every door to the restroom should have like one of those little foot handles so that you don't have to touch the handle.
Yes.
That's step one. But as far as like you shouldn't have to go to the sink and like touch anything at the sink. You shouldn't have to touch anything. When you're done with your business, what I'm trying to think is like there should be the option, right, to use the sink, but sanitization as in like you should just be able to stick your hands into like a receptacle that where you don't have to touch anything. It just blasts it with either like chemicals or with ultra purple. I'm just gonna say ultra purple, ultra purple lights, or something else that I just don't know about. And I'm thinking like right now in these trying times, everybody should have that. Everybody should have that option.
So, how is this different though than just the thing that you stick your hand in and it squirts you some sanitizer on there?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, you still have to. Well, that's a good point. I mean, you still have to rub your hands together with water. I don't know. I'm just thinking like it should just be little stations all over the place where it's just like you just put your hands in for like 10 seconds and you're good.
Those things. Here's the question though: why are those hand sanitizer stations only in like workplaces, like or doctors' offices? Like they should be everywhere, right? They should be everywhere. They should be in restaurants. I mean, they're in the bathrooms, but they should be like, I don't know, table-side hand sanitizer.
And those hand sanitizer, if you don't scrub and like get it all in between your fingers and everything and whatnot, then it might not get everywhere. If you just like stick your hand flat into something, and it just blasts it, right?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I like the idea of sticking your hand into an ultra purple light And it's kind of like those toothbrushes. They make those toothbrush holders where you put your toothbrush in it and it just shines the ultraviolet light on it and it kills all the germs, right?
That's there it is. I'm kind of looking at like something like that, right? And
Okay,
then
I like that idea.
When you walk up to it, it's a frowny face, and then after 10 seconds, it turns into a smiley face, let you know that you're clean.
That's a good design because you're right, because some of those like little squirty things, they leave like a sticky residue in your hands or they smell bad or whatever. But if you could just stick your hands into some nice purple light and it's nice and warm in there and it just feels good. Because sometimes when you wash your hands are like super cold. Like here's a gripe about my workplace. Amazing, nice, modern office space. But for the love of all things holy, why don't we have hot water in the bathroom sinks? I don't understand it.
Oh, that doesn't
I'm
make
washing
sense.
my hands in ice cold water, and then I leave the bathroom and my hands are freezing cold, and then I have to go thaw out.
If we weren't dealing with the pandemic, I'd say, you know what, you better boycott washing those hands.
I should put in some feedback to our
Just kidding.
User feedback.
Submit it to your office manager. Hey, you know what? Don't want to touch these anymore.
But you know what? The floor that the executives sit on, their bathrooms have hot water in the sinks. I've learned this.
Oh, see, there it is. Tyranny. Right there.
Yep. So if I could stick my hands into some nice warm purple light and just leave with no sticky residue on my hands, that's the future.
Wow, that is the future, and I think it would be quicker, more efficient instead of spending all that time waiting on the water to heat up and scrub-a-dub-dub as you sing happy birthday to yourself inside your head twice, and then sometimes you have to use napkins and all that. Just get rid of it and just boom, done.
Yes. Get rid of all those things.
All right, buddy. I feel like I went on for a little while there. I got some more, but I'm going to kick it over to you. What do you got for me?
That's okay. All right. Well, sticking to the robotics theme, I've got one that's not. We have this. This is the thing that we have, but we could get better at it. We are getting better at it, and that's fully autonomous vehicles. Okay. So my robot vacuum cleaner, he's kind of fully autonomous, right? He can kind of do his own thing. Yes, he gets stuck under the couch from time to time, or every time that I use him. But you know what? He does a pretty good job. But I'm looking for fully autonomous vehicles, and I hope Elon Musk can make this happen in the next 5 years or less.
I believe in him.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, tons of manufacturers are doing the autopilot thing now. I think Cadillac does it. I'm pretty sure like Jaguar, like all these manufacturers do it now, but Tesla's probably kind of leading the charge, I guess, perception-wise at least. But I'm interested in hearing what you think. But I honestly, and this is coming from a guy who historically I like driving. Like driving is a thing that I get enjoyment out of. I used to have a nice little 5-speed. I've had a couple of little 5-speed cars that are super fun. And I hook them up with different parts and stuff like that, and make them look cool and slam them to the ground and make them super impractical and make them faster and stuff like that. But so this is coming from a guy who gets a lot of enjoyment out of driving. I actually really enjoy it, but on a day-to-day basis, when I'm traveling from this house to my office, which is 20 minutes away on the interstate, I cannot wait for the day where everyone is doing that in an autonomous vehicle. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine how much less stress there would be, how much more productive you could be when you're sitting in your car for 20 minutes? You don't even have to look at the road. Like, there couldn't even just be no windows. Like, I'm talking about, like, iRobot status.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, you can start checking your emails before you get to work, or you can scroll through Instagram or whatever it is. But it's just the safety thing, especially having kids. There's just so many dummies on the road, man. Like people that just don't pay any attention. Yep. You could be the best driver in the world, and the next thing you know, you got some dude sideswiping you on the interstate because he wasn't paying attention. He was texting somebody, Right. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel about that? Would you be interested in that kind of a world?
So I want to think about it, right? Because fully autonomous, in my mind, means that everybody has to. It's a requirement to use the automatic steering and whatnot. And there's people out there that are amazing drivers, right? And I know this is a small instance, okay? But what I'm trying to say is, what if one of those vehicles, malfunctions, and that person that's inside that vehicle is a fantastic driver, and they have to pay the price for technology, for the need for this technology is being created because there's people out there that don't drive well. So for that
Sure.
one instance, that's a negative. But clearly, I think the redeeming qualities of autonomous vehicles, it seriously outweighs the bad. So I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I do still want to have the option to take control if I need to as a fail-safe, right? And what's better than that? Just make everybody work from home.
This is true.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I feel like the stage where we're at right now, it's so hard. Like, I bet you if we didn't have some of these number one, the media. If the media wasn't a thing and it wasn't so terrible sometimes, I feel like we'd be far more advanced than we are right now. Because number one, like anytime a Tesla crashes, period, anytime there's a Tesla crash ever, it makes headlines that Tesla autopilot vehicles crash and one man lost his life. And then 3 weeks later, you find out dude was watching a portable Blu-ray player in the driver's seat on his way to work, and wasn't paying any attention, and it ends up being operator error. However, there have been some instances where it was the machine's fault and the machine registered. Like, I think a lady one time got hit on a bike trying to cross the street, and the car just couldn't. It saw her, after they reviewed the data from the vehicle, the car saw the lady but registered it as it was not a threat, essentially, and proceeded to just hit the lady on the bike, and she did die. We have some stuff to figure out, and those sort of things set us back every single time. But it's the humans a lot of the time who, there's so many reports of people saying, like, I saw a dude on the interstate today sleeping while his Tesla was driving down the road, right? Like, that's not okay. So, yeah, we've got to get over those sort of hurdles. But I feel like once we get far enough along, I think there's different levels of autonomy when it comes to vehicles. I think there's, you guys correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think there's something called level 5 autonomy. I think they measure it in levels. And once you reach a level 5 autonomy, that means the driver can completely disregard the steering wheel and it just does its thing. And we're definitely not there yet. But once we are, and everyone's in a level 5 autonomous vehicle, and we'll probably get to the point where they can communicate with each other. The cars can communicate with one another, and you'll just stay in your one lane, the lane you need to be in the whole way, and everyone can drive a smooth 70 miles an hour, or maybe even higher, because the speed limits could probably be higher at that point. Just the same speed the whole time. It knows what exit you need to get off of, so it knows it keeps the space between cars perfectly distant. I mean, the only thing we're not thinking about there is what if a deer jumps out into the interstate? How do the cars react at that point? But that's the future that I want. And then I do want to have the option, just like iRobot, that I love that movie, by the way, where I can store a motorcycle or something, even though I don't have a motorcycle yet, but store a gas-powered car that's super dumb in my garage, and I could take that out on the weekends and have some fun.
Hey, they would just have segregated streets, right? So you would have non-autonomous and then autonomous, and it's like the highways, the major transportation routes, and everything would all be autonomous only, and then just driving around town could be both, and you would just have certain lanes that are designated for non-autonomous, just like bike lanes, right?
That's a good point.
I think that's a fantastic idea. It's gonna happen, right? It has to happen eventually. It's just a matter of when, right?
Yep.
What
else you got, Reese? What else do you want to see in the future?
Oh, it's back to me already? Oh my gosh!
I mean, I can go again if you want. I'm just trying to pass the ball back.
I love it. I'll do my next one. I got about 2 or 3 more. Well, no, I got more than that. I got 4. So so right now when you're walking, right? Your phone can count your steps. They got little attachments that you can put on your belt. Those can count your steps. You got the Fitbits. Mine's right here. I don't have it on right now. You got your Fitbits, right? So they'll count your steps. They give you all kinds of information. But they're not 100% accurate, because you could just be waving it back and forth, whatever you want, and it's going to count steps.
Yeah.
So how do you get the most accurate step counting? It's you put a device in your shoe. So what I'm thinking, right, and they probably have this, I don't know, an in-shoe like sole, basically. That's a smart sole, still comfortable, okay, but it's got a couple bit of, it's got a ability to track every time pressure increases on it in the way of a step. So it would have, it's escaping me right now. I can't think of the word. Your phone has a bunch of them in it. It allows you to tell.
Gyroscope.
That's it. Charades, man. I'm sorry. I'm so good at charades. Beep. Whoops. Mark that time down.
9. Oh, dude, I got some coming later. I'm gonna read a quote from somebody with some bleeps in it. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. All right, good. I don't feel so bad then. But all right. So besides just tracking your steps, I'm taking it the next step further. Is it's going to tell you your pressure points on your feet. Explain to you like the high risk, right? And it give you data in an app that basically tells you, what kind of shoes you should be wearing, a different type of insole that you should be wearing. And then also, as you're stepping, it's going to tell you like how much pressure are you pushing into the ground. If you're running, if you're stepping, if you're jogging, give you all of those different types of analytics. And you know what? Maybe throw even a moisture counter in there. Why not? I mean, a little smell never hurt anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. It could analyze that as well and just tell you risks potentially. I'm just throwing it out there. I think that
I like it.
There's an opportunity there, and if I was smart enough and was an engineer, I might go and make it myself.
So I feel like I'm just a bubble burster today, Reese. I'm not trying to be a bubble burster.
I quit.
Okay, no, wait. All the stuff you were saying about the pressure sensor and all that stuff, I don't think that exists, or at least I haven't found it yet. But I do know that Nike actually has Nike Plus, which it actually is similar to that. They make shoes that are compatible with Nike Plus, and they essentially have like this little pocket in the sole of one of the shoes. You stick a little sensor in, and it can hook up to your phone. And as far as I know, I'm reading the thing right now. It says that it essentially syncs with your Nike Plus sport watch or your iPhone. And this is an older product, but and it tracks your, where was it? It just said it. I can't. Oh, sorry. Your pace, your distance, time elapsed, and calories burned. Okay. So pretty basic stuff, but it doesn't. I totally agree with what you're saying about like the pressure, and your pressure points and things like that. Because I've tried running before. I thought maybe I can get into running. That could be a thing, and I would run for like a week, and then I got shin splints, which is if you've never had shin splints before, it sucks really hard. My shins were like in pain for a long time. And I think that comes from just like bad. It essentially feels like needles in your shin if you step the wrong way. Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, I think that comes down to like bad form, number one, and which who knew there was a form for running. But apparently, if you stride a certain way or you land a certain way on your feet, then it can be bad for you. But so it'd be super cool to have a sensor or something that tells you what you're doing wrong.
That's where I'm at. I think. It sounds like someday it should just be like another thing that's built in. It's built-in technology that should just be in your shoes, right? But we're wearing this wristwatch, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. Shouldn't it just be in your shoes?
You ran really far. Good job.
Yeah, but actually all I did was sit here and play video games all day with my VR headset, and I got 10,000 steps.
Yes.
Just saying. That's all right. I'm throwing the ball back in your court, man. What do you got for me?
Oh yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do something that, again, we should have this by now. It's 2020. Why don't we have this? And that's reliable Wi-Fi.
Dude.
So
how are we at this day and age? I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. Do it.
I can't. I just don't understand. This is one of those things where I'm like, we sent a spaceship. Okay, we send spaceships into space. I don't know much about space other than it's crazy.
That was like 40 years ago.
Well, yeah, okay, and we've been communicating. With that thing for a long time. It's really far away, right? It's really far away. We can still get pictures back from it. But why can't I not sit in this room of my house with this really expensive computer here that should have some really nice Wi-Fi bands built into it and get some solid Wi-Fi speed from the room right over there where the modem and router sits, right? Okay, I pay Verizon a lot of money to get gigabit internet, okay? And for you guys that don't know, gigabit means 1,000 megabits per second, right?
Yes.
On average this week, as I've been working from home and checking speed tests from time to time, I've been getting less than 50 megabits per second. Okay, so that's a fraction of what I'm paying for. What? I don't understand. And so if I call Verizon and tell them, they're like, oh, you probably have too many devices connected to your Wi-Fi. I'm like, all right, it's me and my wife in the house, 2 laptops, all right, maybe 2 phones.
Yep.
I'm still confused how I'm not getting at least a couple hundred every time I check it. So
I agreed. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to.
Yeah. So my question is, what's the problem, man? What's the problem? They're like, oh, maybe you should hardwire into it and then check your speed. I'm like, if I wanted to hardwire into it every time, I wouldn't be using Wi-Fi on my computer. I would be sitting next to my modem all day and plugging into it.
You know, I'm sorry. I went through this exercise with them, right, over the phone, because I got gigabit also, and I went down the rabbit hole with them. So if you make it past that point where they're like, oh, plug all your devices in, I went and I was like, I only got one device. It's plugged in. What's on? There's no one else on here. It's just me.
Right.
Why am I not getting the speeds? Oh, well, let's check this. Oh, well, we're pushing it to you. Okay, well, you're pushing it to me. I'm not getting it. Oh, well, your contract, you see this fine print on your contract says that we don't actually have to provide it to you. Do you know that? Go back and look at, dude, go look at the fine print. Go look at the fine print on those Verizon contracts, man. It's so sketchy. There's fine print on them that basically says that they don't have to give you, it's a range between like 50 and 989 megabits. As long as they're within that range of 50 and 9. Oh, yeah. Yep. Go read it, dude. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Some crooked stuff.
Yeah, because I'm hardwired. I only get like between 400 and 500 megabits download.
To be hardwired, that's still some BS.
Yep, my upload's even worse. I only get about 50 to 60,
really?
and it's supposed to be 1,000. So
upload is where I get the best. I'm supposed to get a gig down and a gig up. Same here. And going up, I usually get like up 100 plus most of the time. Now, I will say I can probably chalk some of this up to the MacBook wireless bands, the Wi-Fi bands within the MacBook, or the wireless card, or whatever it is inside of there. Because on my PC, my gaming PC, with the wireless antennas that I have installed on that, I do typically get around like 300 download. And I think, honestly, that might be a limitation of the motherboard, potentially, as to what can it actually accept. So,
yeah,
I don't know. It's just, that's what I'm saying. Why do we not have more reliable Wi-Fi at this point? If my MacBook that I paid, $1,300 for can't receive the Wi-Fi appropriately, then that's some BS. If Verizon can't give me more than 50 when I pay for a gigabit, then that's also some BS.
I agree, man. I agree 100% that we're getting gypped. We're giving them all this money. They don't care. Dude, you can call them and say, okay, well, I'm going to cancel my contract and go to your competitor. They're like, okay, see you later.
Sweet. We'll get your $130 somewhere else. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, we'll get you back. Don't worry.
I feel like all of my ideas for future tech is like just a vent. It's just me venting about why technology sometimes sucks right now.
I mean, mine is a little bit too, but it's true. We're at the time. I feel like we're halted in our advancements in some areas. Although I will say, 5G is coming. I don't really know a lot about it. I just know that it's going to keep engineers busy for the next 10 plus years.
That's great.
And it's going to solve your problems. The internet problems that you're having right now, they're probably going to charge everybody a crap ton and give us, less than what they promise us. But think about it. What are they going to offer next? 2 gigabit? Why not?
Ooh.
You won't have to worry about anything if it's 2 gigabit. But then they'll probably only be giving you 100 gigabits, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Just incremental updates. That's the world we live in. Just incremental updates.
They'll give you 1,000. They say they give you 1,000, but they only give you 50 every time.
Yeah. Yes. So, one other piece of technology that's incremental updates, speaking of Apple, is everything Apple. And the last thing on my list that I had was to talk about MacBooks. So one thing that I'd love to see in the future, and that we've been kind of expecting for a while, and us in the tech community have not actually received it yet. Some people are interested in it, some people are not, is a touchscreen MacBook. So we've got tons of touchscreen laptops on the market right now. In fact, it seems like almost every PC they put out for consumers and not for enterprise doesn't usually have this, has a touchscreen. You, the beard, just purchased a Hewlett-Packard, I believe, right?
Oh, it's so nice.
Which is a touchscreen 2-in-1 because it folds all the way back into a tablet, so it's a 2-in-1.
Yes, it does. Oh my god.
And I think you're a fan of it, right?
Dude, $550. It's got AMD Ryzen 5. I can run Warframe. I can run current gen video graphics on my laptop. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Yeah. Oh my god, take me there. Take me there every day.
It's not a bad price at all, $550. But guess how much I paid for my MacBook? I said it a minute ago. $1,300 all in.
Right.
Okay. And you probably have better performance out of your PC than I usually get out of my MacBook. But it looks great.
Security. Think about it, right? You, for the MacBook, I'm just going to throw this in. I'm going to kick it back to you. Is the security, right? That was the whole thing with the MacBooks is that you didn't have to worry about like viruses and like everything was like streamlined. But really, in this day and age, Windows Defender is pretty good. You don't really need anything else. I mean, you get AVG, a couple other things, but I'm pretty safe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, since I've had the gaming PC built, I haven't had any sort of threats of virus or anything like that, but I'm just smart about, I don't download games illegally, and I just stay away from sketchy sites and stuff like that. But I mean, that was one of the promises of the MacBook. And I will say, like, I'm not hating on the MacBook because I actually really enjoy my MacBook Pro, and it serves me well for most things. I will say it takes forever to export video. We did find that out. But what I wanted to really touch on was a touchscreen MacBook. Mac OS and iOS, I feel like they're kind of growing closer and closer all the time. Every time, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but every time a new iOS comes out, especially for the iPad, it gets more and more like Mac OS. I mean, there's definitely a clear difference at this point still. But why can't we have a touchscreen MacBook at this point? I mean, I don't personally think that I would use the touchscreen a ton, but the few people that I work with that use like Microsoft Surface devices or computers like yours or just standard HPs that have a touchscreen, I can definitely see the use case. Like when it comes to zooming in on something, for instance, if I want to open up an image and just pinch to zoom a little bit, or if I want to scroll down a web page, or maybe if I do want to flip it into a completely tablet view. I don't understand at this point why Apple is resisting it. I mean, they introduced the Touch Bar on MacBooks 2016, I want to say, and my MacBook has a Touch Bar. I don't get a ton of usage out of it, but it's a solid little piece of hardware. It's a really cool little differentiator between that and a PC. If I'm cutting together a movie in iMovie, if I'm using Photoshop or something, I can use the Touch Bar to do little keyboard shortcuts, which is really cool. And I kind of thought when they first announced that was kind of like the stopgap between a standard MacBook and one that has a touchscreen. So that was just one thing that I'd like to see in the future. I think that it would be a pretty welcome introduction, and I think people would be excited about it.
When was the last time iOS had like a large update?
I mean, they do one every year. I think large in the sense of like completely
game changer. Yeah.
It's been a while, right? Man. Yeah, it's been a while. I think.
Is it because
I think iOS 7. I think iOS 7, if I remember correctly, was back around when the iPhone 5 was out, and that's when they introduced like a brand new user interface, brand new design language, things like that. But really, it's all iterative. Every single time they put out an iOS update, it's super iterative. Like, the menu structures have been cleaned up, or the settings panels have been cleaned up, or the share sheets have been improved, or whatever. Like, it's very minor stuff. It's nothing, no huge major overhauls on the iPhone side, at least.
Do you think it has anything to do with Steve Jobs being having passed away? Because he was kind of the innovator on all of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, honestly. I'm not really sure what leads that. I'm not sure who oversees like software. I think it might be Phil Schiller potentially, but I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, man. But I will say that we're going to talk about it in a little bit. The iPad is growing closer and closer to becoming a laptop.
Yeah, man.
But let's finish out our main segment first.
What's up?
I said let's finish our main segment first.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna hit these next ones real quick. Real-time language translation tool. It exists, but where is it? Why don't I have one? Why isn't it built into my phone? Why can't I just walk down the street and hear what those people doing my nails are talking about? That's what I'm trying to say. When I'm ordering food. Huh? What?
Hold up.
Did I
Do you get your nails done?
Oh no. I'm sorry. My hair. That's what I meant. My hair. My hair, when I'm ordering food, anything basically. I get on the phone with folks that are in India because I do some project management work, and I want to know what they're saying, and it should just be built into my phone real time as they're talking. I just want to know, right? So that's the first thing. I think that should be built into all of our systems at this point. Real-time language translation. How hard is that?
Yeah. I mean, doesn't Google have?
They do.
What's it called? Google Translate.
Google Translate.
Doesn't. Yeah, you think.
But
by
it's
now
not real time.
No, yeah, you'd think by now. I mean, they had like the Pixel Buds, and the Pixel Buds first came out. That was the promise. It was you could basically translate as people were talking to you. If you had the Pixel Buds in, it would speak to you whatever they were saying. But I don't think it ever panned out exactly as they were expecting it to.
Yeah.
And it definitely was not really well adopted for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, like Apple, come on guys, what are you doing? Why are you waiting for Google to do something like that?
Yeah, that's huge.
I don't understand.
Break down the language barriers. Universal language. Come on, that's amazing.
It would be.
Okay.
I think we should all just start a new language that everyone has to learn.
I think it should be
Klingon.
Klingon. There we go. That sounds good. Let's do that. All right. So next is in relationship to COVID-19, virtual reality shopping experience, right? So when you're at home and you're on your computer and you're looking on Amazon or you're looking on whatever platform you're on to buy things, why not be able to log in with a virtual reality headset, which everybody will have someday, I assume, and be able to walk through that supermarket, see the things on the shelf, pick them up, take a look at them, throw them in your cart.
I love that idea.
Oh, dude, I think
my
it's
wife
great.
would love that.
Think about it. Think about the people that are disabled, that are never able to go window shopping.
True.
They could go. They could be in a virtual reality city, or even in a forest. Whatever you want to do. You could be in the bottom of the ocean, walking around shopping. Come on, people would gobble that up, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for that. I mean,
so
online shopping, it's cool, but I mean, could you imagine? Yeah, just putting yourself in a virtual space and being actually able to walk through the store. Would you also have people blocking the aisles like you do in real life that you couldn't get through?
We got to have full immersion here, so yes. And eventually,
like
every once in a while, you'd have some random NPC just run up and cough on you.
Yes.
It wouldn't just be like regular shopping. It would be like battle shopping.
Now that's something I could get behind. I hate grocery shopping. It's the worst. But if I can make it a video game, You start with a list of things you need, right? You have a list of 10 things, and you have 2 minutes to get through, and you're armed with a rifle and a pistol, and you have to go through and just blast zombies as you're getting groceries. That's exciting.
Oh, take me there. That sounds fun.
Write that down. That's $1 million idea.
Oh yeah. All right. And I'm going to round it out now. Last topic, okay? And I connected it to the virtual reality in a way. Android eye replacements. Now, this is very futuristic, but I have glasses and my eyesight sucks. And I'm already technically considered an Android in the literal terms. We're all technically androids, like if you're using a phone or if you have glasses or if you have any kind of anything that increases your like functionality in life. You're technically, boom, there it is, Android. You just put your Android glasses on. Hey, Arnold.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
All right, I'm going to stop doing that now. I'll probably just wake my kids up.
Oh, whoops. So Android eye replacements with virtual reality capabilities. Now, I think it would just be great. I think we're a long way off, and if we can get there, we can get to a lot of different places. So what I'm thinking is be able to just turn your brains into your screen. Yeah,
pretty
I
wild.
mean that's all I really had on that one.
Are you thinking like augmented sort of reality? So like you're just seeing kind of like the Terminators. You can look at like a person. You're like it tells you their height, their weight,
hit
their
points,
age.
Damage,
their hit points,
armor,
their strength level, their level in life. That's everyone's assigned a level. This guy's level 36. Oh shit!
Oh my god! His power is he's powered. I'm sorry. His power level's 9,000.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Stay away from that guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be really, really cool, but scary. Cause think about hackers, right? Could they hack into your eyeball?
Oh no! Yeah, that'd be bad. Or you get you get like spam. You would get definitely the advertising industry would be all about it because they'd find ways to like NFC tag you as you're walking past the store. It's like a thing pops up in your eyeball. It's like 20% off.
Oh man, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about like getting rickrolled. So you walking, you be sitting in a meeting, somebody rickrolls you. Oh man. Oh gosh. Okay, that was it, man. That was my main. That was my main stuff.
I think Android eye replacement. Dude, that's got. I mean, not even just eye replacement, but you know, smart contact lenses are gonna happen at some point.
Yep. Yeah, smart contacts. They're already in development. Yeah, I know that they're in development.
It's only a matter of time.
They'll be.
Well, that was a good list.
They'll be here soon. I think. Anyway,
that was a good list. But yes, as we round out every section, what do you guys want to see in the future? Like, if you could put yourself 20 years in the future, what technology do you want to see that would improve your life, or maybe just be super fun, like a zombie grocery cart, action adventure VR game? Let us know about it.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Are you ready for some tech news?
Let's do it.
Transitioning right now. We're back. That was a quick one. Get it done.
Quick one.
Oh my gosh. Hey, 30 seconds or less. Here I am.
All right. Welcome to the tech news segment of the Ginger and the Beard podcast. So we kind of alluded to this a little bit. I'm going to share my screen with you while I look at this article. Well, not really article, press release from the people themselves, Apple. As we talk about Apple announced a new iPad Pro. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit. Yeah.
One second.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, you're good now. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Yes, Apple has unveiled its new iPad Pro. Okay, so we talked about it a little bit in the future tech segment. Why has Apple not released a touchscreen MacBook? Well, this might be the answer actually, because every time they make improvements and iterations on the iPad, it gets more and more like a MacBook. So as you can see, the big shocker here is that it came out with this new fancy keyboard case, if you guys can see my screen, that essentially elevates it off of the surface and makes it more in line with what you'd see from like a MacBook.
Can you scroll down? All I see is just the top title right now.
Oh, I am scrolling. Not working?
Yeah. No, it's not. Oh, I can see something now. Yeah, scroll down now. Oh, okay, yeah, we can see it now.
Oh, weird. When I was full screen, I guess it wasn't working. Technical difficulties. We're just learning.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yes. So anyways, they released this new iPad Pro. I mean, as with every iteration of the iPad, it comes with some beefed up specs. It's got a new 8-core GPU and 8-core processor, Apple's proprietary processors. So it's faster. It's got better performance. It's got this fancy A12Z Bionic chip, whatever that's supposed to mean. But it apparently claims that you can edit 4K video or do 3D modeling within the iPad, which is pretty awesome. I've got to say, I mean, like I follow a lot of tech blogs and people in the industry, and they talk about how powerful the iPad Pro actually is. I'd love to be able to get I mean, number one, I can't afford one of these things because they're just as expensive, if not more expensive, than an actual MacBook, which we'll talk about the pricing in a second. But I'd love to actually just spend like a week and try to work exclusively from an iPad Pro and see how it is. I think that'd be very interesting. But it's got a new edge-to-edge liquid retina display. Gotta love all their fancy nomenclature.
Ooh,
liquid retina.
Ooh.
It looks really good. That's all that really means. It's got
Sounds
a
good too.
New camera system. You can shoot 4K video with. If I ever see you shooting video with an iPad, I might actually come smack you. But if it's got the ability to do it, I guess why not do it? But it also touts its studio quality mics. So it's actually saying, I mean, again, with all these Apple campaigns, you have to take it with a grain of salt because they'll have these shot on iPhone campaigns and put these giant billboards up, and like, sure, it was shot on an iPhone, but it had like a lens attachment and it had a professional behind it that was using specific lighting techniques, and then in post-processing they put all these filters and whatnot on it and made it look super awesome. So
you just ruined my life.
Yeah, sorry, it doesn't actually come straight out of the camera like that. But really, what I wanted to mainly talk about was this keyboard. You can see here in this image here, this keyboard cover, that elevates it off the ground and makes it more like laptop style. And what you might not have noticed in this image is there's a trackpad now on this keyboard.
Nice.
So the iPad actually now has mouse support, which is something that iPads have never had historically. Even Samsung tablets, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago have had Bluetooth mouse support.
So now that the iPads have mouse support, I mean, they got to give the MacBooks. I'm sorry. Now that they have mouse support, I'm trying to talk. Now that they have mouse support, shouldn't MacBooks have trackpads?
What do you mean? I mean, you mean iPads have trackpads?
No.
MacBooks have trackpads.
Touch screens.
Yes. That 11%.
That's exactly what it is. Actually, I'm gonna just slide that away from me. I'm gonna bring this nice high quality H2O up closer. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So you're right. Exactly. This is what I was trying to get to earlier. It's like, okay, if we're at this point, I feel like there's a merger on the way. Like, they've said from the beginning, right, when iPad Pro first came out, is that their intention for the iPad Pro is not to be a laptop replacement. And they had to say that, right? Their marketing teams told them to say that because they don't want to stop selling MacBooks. But if they continue to do stuff like this, they add trackpad support to the iPad. They make this cool little stand that lifts it up higher off the table to make it angled like a laptop. They give it all these performance boosts. They allow you to edit 4K video. At some point, kids aren't even going to know what a laptop is. They're just going to have a tablet that they walk around with, and it's going to have all the same capabilities as a laptop. So I'm not sure how I feel one way or the other about it. Again, I'd love to spend like a lot of time with an iPad Pro and see could it actually be a replacement device for your laptop. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of articles and videos out there that tackle that topic now that they've announced this. But I just thought it was super interesting. Now, I will say that the trackpad, as I've read about it, does not function exactly like you might expect a mouse or a traditional trackpad on a laptop. It actually, they don't have any graphics here to illustrate it, but when you move your finger around the trackpad, it essentially just highlights different icons. You know what I mean? So instead of having a mouse to freely move around the screen and click on things, as you move your your cursor to the right, it's just going to pop across the little icons. It'll pop up into the file navigation system, and it's just another way. I'm not sure if it ought to actually be faster for you to navigate that way than it would be for you to just touch an object, but it's just different, I guess. And I'm assuming that, you know, especially their native applications like iMovie, GarageBand, things like that, will probably have a lot more features built in to allow you to do certain things with the trackpad that you may not be able to do as easily with the touch interface. So that'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if I like that. To just be kind of
I'm bringing my face back.
I'm back as well. I don't know if I like that, man. I don't like that whole tab technology that it's basically using. It's kind of
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it. I mean, we'll see. Maybe the next time they iterate on it again, you'll have a free moving cursor. You never know.
Yeah,
it's maybe like I said, they just
baby steps.
Yeah, they just keep getting ever closer to the merger of macOS and iOS, or it may be just macOS and iPadOS, because there is a distinction now between iOS and iPadOS. And not to spend too much time on this topic, but if you haven't checked out iPadOS in a while, for you guys out there listening, they continue to pump in more and more productivity-focused software with these releases, allowing you to do things like side-by-side windows, which you've been able to do on Mac for a long time, allowing you to have more swipe capability. So if you use your four fingers and you swipe across the screen, you can basically have different spaces like you can on PC and on Mac. You know, and you can do the exact same thing on macOS. If you swipe with your fingers, you get to another space. So all these things are sort of merging together. I'm just kind of waiting for the day where they announce macOS and iPadOS have merged, and we've released this fancy new iPad MacBook combination that allows you to detach the screen from the keyboard, just like a Surface device or something like that. That would be crazy, you know.
Okay.
But so let's just talk about cost really quick, and then we can move on. I'm going to gripe for a second. The base cost of the iPad, I didn't write down the specs. I don't feel like going back to the article right now, is $800. So that's base cost. That's just the slab of metal itself, $800. So out of the gate.
That's not bad, right?
That's not bad. But if you want to get the full functionality and you want to slap on that nice, pretty keyboard, take a guess, Reese, at where you land for that keyboard. What kind of money are we talking about for that keyboard?
For just that keyboard?
Yes.
I mean, I would say like $30-$40 tops.
This is Apple we're talking about. Let's multiply that by 10. That's $300. $300.
Dude, count me out, man. I'm out.
$300 gets you a nice fancy keyboard case that allows you to elevate your iPad and lean it backwards. Come on, man.
No way.
Come on. Right?
No
okay,
way.
So the Surface tablets.
I'm going to take that thing out in the courtyard and beat it with a bat if somebody gives me that, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that goes perfectly. It falls perfectly in line with all the other Apple accessories. For instance, their new Mac Pro that they released, which is also ridiculously expensive. You can buy a car a really nice car for the cost of one of those Mac Pros. But if you want to buy a set of caster wheels to go underneath of that Mac Pro so you can wheel it around to different parts of your studio for whatever reason, you're looking at I think it's, I don't want to misquote it, but it's in the hundreds of dollars, maybe even $1,000 to buy some caster wheels. And if you want to buy their fancy Pro Display XDR monitor, you have to buy the monitor stand separately, which is an extra, I want to say $1,000. It's like some kind of aluminum stand. Wow. So it's outrageous, man. They're just price gouging like crazy. But so if you buy the base iPad Pro, the new one, and add the $300 keyboard to it, you're looking at $1,100. Okay, so for $200 more, You could buy this nice, beautiful MacBook Pro with Touch Bar, and you could watch the Ginger and the Beard podcast.
Hey, there, boom, there it is.
You know, for a couple $100 more, and you're going to get more storage. You're going to get most likely better performance. So yeah, I don't know. Very interesting.
I don't know, man. It's not up my alley. It's not up my alley, but at least they're trying some things, and there's a market for it, right? There's a market for it for sure, and I get that. You know, it's not something I would do, but I do like the idea of an upgraded GPU, an 8-core CPU, and ability to edit 4K video. That's promising. That's what gets my gears going, right? The whole $300 keyboard, you had me at 3. As soon as you say the number 3, I'm out. Don't tell me 3.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me 30 and we're in. But anyway, all right. So, do you want me to go ahead and? All right, I'm gonna give you guys a quick little update right now. And anybody that's streaming, that is a streamer, is a broadcaster that uses OBS Studio and plays video games, this is probably going to be a little bit important to you. I'm gonna get through it real quick though. So Vulkan-based games, right? So when I say Vulkan-based games, it's an API that developers use with their games to communicate to different networks. And some games that use this, right? Doom Eternal, Red Dead Redemption 2, No Man's Sky, Rage 2, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Rainbow Six, all of those games use Vulkan. So it's a common kind of thing. It's a low overhead, cross-platform, 3D graphics and computing API, right? So API it basically just means that it's able to communicate to between different servers, different databases, at a very, very high level. But it's cheap, it's not that expensive, and it's super high powered. But what I'm talking about here is streaming. So OBS did not have anything built out to do Vulkan-based game capture. So me personally, I play No Man's Sky. When I was trying to play No Man's Sky, I couldn't do game capture. I would have to show you guys my whole desktop, basically. So anything I'm doing on my desktop, you would see, which is not really that good for streaming. Yeah. Now it's been built out so that it does game capture. Anytime I'm doing something on my screen, you're not able to see it. It's just quality of life, and it needed to happen, and it's better quality. That's the best thing about it, is because when you stream games that were Vulkan supported, you would get like huge lag, clipping, all kinds of nasty stuff that you don't want to get when you're streaming. So very happy to hear that, and anybody that streams or makes YouTube videos should be happy as well.
Yeah, I remember trying to watch you stream Red Dead 2, and and it was always giving you troubles. So that's cool, man. That's exciting. I'm that gets me going. I'm really happy about that. But I don't think we have anything else for tech. I mean, there's plenty of tech news out there, but I think we covered the things that are important to us, right? Yes, absolutely. It actually has been kind of a slow week in tech. I was trying to look for more stuff, but it's actually kind of been kind of slow. But lots of stuff going on. But yeah, I think we should move on.
So transition time into UFC shenanigans?
Oh, yes.
1, 2, 3. Oh, we're back. That one was not as short as the last one, but we're back. That's all that matters. We're back.
We're back. And one day we'll have ad breaks because we'll be famous and we'll need to have ads.
Good point. Good point. Here we are. You're at so smooth. UFC shenanigans. Mr. Red, Mr. Ginger, will you start us off with some UFC shenanigans? And there's been some shenanigans.
There's been some shenanigans. Jon Jones has gotten arrested again.
Oh my gosh. Well, not like this. He's been doing so good.
It's a guy that you hate to love and you love to hate. Right? Like Jon Jones, he's such an amazing athlete. He's just like a freak of nature. He can't be stopped. I mean, he could be. He will be one day.
Yeah.
But he's doing himself a disservice, man. Yeah, if you guys haven't read the news yet, if you haven't followed closely enough with what's happening in the UFC world, our man Jon Jones, light heavyweight champion of the world, has gotten arrested again for similar actions, DWI and misuse of a firearm.
Yes.
Which sounds awful.
To expand on that, I read a little bit more into it. He's discharged his firearm in a public setting. I'm pretty sure it was outside, but it endangered people's lives. And he was also pulled over while intoxicated. So this was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they're not felonies, right? It's a misdemeanor and a petty misdemeanor. The DWI is petty. The discharging of the firearm is an actual misdemeanor. So I mean, gosh, man,
I can't believe discharging your firearm is a misdemeanor. You would think that would be a felony, considering you could definitely kill someone doing that. I don't really understand that one. But yeah, regardless, I don't know what you're thinking, man. I've always said the same thing about any pro athletes, like these guys in the NFL, even more so the guys like in the NFL who get, busted for gun charges or for drug charges or whatever. I'm like, dude, you're making so much money playing a game. It's a little bit different for the UFC because you're physically getting harmed. You're putting yourself in harm's way. So, I feel like you're earning your money a little bit more than these guys in the NFL, but still, you're a professional athlete making the big bucks in your sport. Why risk it? Why risk it for something? And I saw somebody posted on Instagram earlier today, and it was like, at this point, why hasn't he paid someone to drive him around for $50,000 a year or something like that, just to be his driver, just to get him from club to club or wherever he's going, so that this doesn't happen? And why do you need a firearm?
He should have a bodyguard. Just give him a bodyguard.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be able to beat the bodyguard up, but whatever, have one. Who cares?
Yeah,
I just think, man, poor decision making. He was doing so good for like the past year, and to see this kind of relapse, it's just like, why?
Right. So you were telling me earlier today, this is not the first time this happened, and just tell the people what it was last time.
Beyond just the drug issues, the performance drug enhancements, the performing enhancing drugs that he's been taking. There was one instance that he got arrested for where he did a hit and run. He ran into a lady that was pregnant and fled the scene in his vehicle. There was also he either tested positive or was found in possession of cocaine.
Oh man.
But fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure that was the one that happened before the car accident. But those were the things basically. So, I mean, he's just had a laundry list of run-ins with the law, just negativity, dealing with pharmaceuticals and drugs. Yeah. I mean, man, what a good fighter, but gosh, man, what a bad, not really a stand-up kind of guy, He's kind of a bad guy,
Yeah, and then it's been interesting to watch the reactions of other fighters across the interwebs responding to this situation. But there was one that stood out to me as I was scrolling through Instagram and saw one of the UFC news fights reposted, and it came from Diego Sanchez.
Okay.
And if you have small children around and you're listening to this podcast, which I doubt is the
my gosh.
I doubt is the occasion. I just want to read this guy's tweet, and we're gonna bleep this out in post. But for you guys listening live, prepare yourselves. This is a tweet from Diego Sanchez in regards to the news about Jon Jones. He said, "Not even the coronavirus can keep Bill fucking Cosby Jones off the streets of Albuquerque during this global pandemic. What a the fakest ever. Fake supporters and followers too." Okay.
Wow.
Number one,
wow.
Dude, calm down, okay? You're a good fighter. You know why he's saying that? Because he's trying to ride the Colby Covington hype train and be another one of those guys that's like, hey, here's another asshole that I want to see lose. Let me tune into his pay-per-view fight and pay him the big bucks because he's an asshole and I want to see him get his teeth kicked in.
Oh, no. Is he really doing that? Oh, come on.
I think he is, man. I really do. I think this is a strategy that a lot of fighters have recently, and I want to know your thoughts on it. But it seems like Colby Covington kind of kicked this train off, with his Make America Great hats and his this over the top personality. But we all know it's an act. We know historically, like, he was starting to
He's
become
not good at it.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting to become just another name in the sport. So he put this act on and made everybody hate him, so they would tune into his fights.
I do have to correct you on that, though. He wasn't just becoming another name in the sport. He was going to get kicked out. He was actually one fight away from being. He was about to be released, and then he started talking all this crap.
Right.
And then Dana was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's see what this guy's got."
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good call on that. I think he did have like one fight left, and so yeah, he wanted to. He wanted to get some attention. Now he's got it, and now he is one of the most talked about fighters in the sport. So I feel like a lot of fighters are trying this strategy. Another one's like Henry Cejudo, right?
Yeah, exactly. He talks
Henry
all
Cejudo,
this, but his is so corny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he told Valentina Shevchenko that he would fight her.
Why? Just why, right?
Because he's just trying to stir up the headlines, and it works, right? But we don't need every single fighter doing this, okay? Especially when it's as clear as night. Like, why? Okay, it's fine if you have this opinion about Jon Jones, because I think Diego Sanchez is from Albuquerque, I believe.
Okay.
And so I can understand, Jon Jones is given a bad rap to the sport. He's disgracing Albuquerque, whatever. But don't call his fans fake ass supporters and followers. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's not cool. You don't need to get on the fans' bad side unless you're trying to ride the hype train.
I don't even want to think about it, man. He's just playing that game. It's not a good game to play. So yeah, I hope he cleans up his act.
Yes,
he's been doing pretty bad lately too. Did you see his corner man? His corner man's like some joke. I can't remember his name right now, but the stuff that he's saying to him while they're sitting on the chair, sitting on the stool in the corner, just doesn't make sense. I could go out there and say stuff like that, and anyway, I will say this: Thiago Santos wants to fight Dominic Reyes next, to see who's going to fight Jon next, because Jon's going to be out for a little while.
I can't wait to see that fight. That's going to be awesome. If they make that fight, who do you think takes that fight?
I'm going to give it to Dominic. I honestly think that the Thiago Santos Jon Jones fight, I really did give it to Jon on that one. The Dominic Reyes fight, though, I mean, Dominic dominated him for 3 rounds. If it was a 3-round fight, dude, Dominic took it home, no problem.
Right.
It's a championship fight, and he was a little bit out of gas. He didn't really do anything in the 5th round, but I don't care, man. I think Dominic won that fight, and I think Dominic's gonna beat Thiago. He's gonna fight Jones again, and he's gonna realize, oh, so I can't just win 3 rounds and then just accept it as a victory. I have to actually fight all 5 rounds and beat this guy every single round. I think he'll come out and do that next time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Now that I think about it, at first I was thinking I would give that to Thiago. But if you think back to that fight with Jon, I mean, granted, the dude did shred his knees to pieces in that fight. So he couldn't really move a whole lot, but he's definitely not as explosive as Dominic is. And so, he might come out and explode and take that fight, and then, go in to fight Jon Jones. That would definitely be interesting.
I think Jon Jones is on his way out, honestly. I think the only reason why he didn't lose those last 2 fights is because he's the champion already.
Yeah,
If it was reversed, those other folks would have, I think they definitely would have won the fight.
I would have to agree with you. So another UFC news. So we're all sitting and waiting impatiently to figure out what's happening with UFC 249. So that's of course the Khabib Ferguson fight. And Dana White is holding out, like he's holding out very hard to make sure this fight happens. And I will just say, I won't spend too much time on it, but he's hinting to the fact that a venue is about 99% solidified, and we don't know if it's going to be in North America, if it's going to be overseas, where this is actually going to be. But he says he's going to make this fight happen. But the more interesting thing about it is there are talks about the card itself changing. And if you think about the fights that have been rescheduled, there's talk that some of these fights that were going to be main event fights are going to get added to that card.
Okay.
So how wild would that be? I mean, we've got Francis Ngannou versus now the guy's name's not coming to my head.
Not Olenek. It's Rosenstruck.
Rosenstruck, there you go. Thank you. That fight's actually, there are talks that it's going to get added to the card. Then you got Tyron Woodley potentially getting added to the card. So this could be a monster event if it actually happens and these changes to the card are actually made.
Dude, I'm super excited if they actually make those changes. I'm probably gonna buy the fight, honestly. Yeah, I would be super. I'm super excited. I really want them to make that happen.
Yes, yes,
and
me too.
I don't know. Maybe we even have a podcast where we do a side by side with the fight. You know, who knows? Just watch it live together.
We talked about doing that. I wonder if we could make that happen.
I
mean, obviously, we couldn't show the fight, obviously, but I think we potentially could do that.
It would just be a a watch along basically.
Yeah. So let us know if you guys are interested in that. The Beard and I can make it happen. So if you guys are interested in hearing us do a fight companion, let us know and maybe we can make that work.
Yeah, I think we can. So real quick, I'm not going to do another transition, and I just want to say, guys, if you play video games, you got to go check out the Epic Game Store. World War Z is a $40 game. It's free right now. It's free. World War Z. It's a pretty big game. It's free, $40. Go buy it. Go buy it for free, okay? Go buy it for free right now. The only thing better would be if they paid you to play it. That's it. There's a couple other games on there. There's a game called Figment, actually. It's an action-adventure. There's Tormentor, X-Punisher. It's an action indie with pixel graphics. Both of those games, not as popular. They look fun. But total savings this week, if you were to get all of these games, it is $63. $63 being given to you for free.
That's pretty awesome. Can't beat free.
I mean, listen, you just watching this podcast all the way to the end, you just made $63. Go ahead. Be happy.
Thank you. All you should thank Reese.
And Epic Game Store.
Oh, yes, and Epic, obviously.
Yeah.
I have to check that out, man. I haven't played any zombie games in a long time. So, I mean, long time.
Just go snag it. You don't have to install it. Just go snag it. And maybe someday when you and I are bored and want to try something new, and maybe anybody in chat, you guys want to come in there, it's a multiplayer game where we all get together and kill hordes of zombies. What could be better?
I mean, we're all out here surviving the zombie apocalypse as it is. Let's just do it in the virtual world as well.
You keep the games, by the way. I don't know if you don't know this, now you know it. If you get the games, you keep them. They're all in my inventory right now. I have about 50 free games from Epic Game Store. Now, don't get me wrong. I've bought a couple games on there, but they've given me hundreds of dollars of games for free that are mine now. I went through the purchasing process. I have the game code. It's amazing. Get Epic Game Store. And also, I'm playing Lost Oasis. Everybody else should buy Lost Oasis and play it with me. And that's all I have to say.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, maybe next week we can expand more on that when you have some more time. You've spent some more time in the game and can give us a little insight. Because I watched your stream last night with Last Oasis, and it looked interesting. So I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about it.
I will definitely. I feel like we spent a lot of time on some other topics, so maybe next week. Good sir.
We tend to do that. How do we do this? I don't know.
We like talking. Yeah. What can I say?
That's why we started a podcast.
It's true.
Because we like talking. And I'm sorry the podcast is long. I know some people do not like long podcasts, but I personally love long podcasts. I don't actually listen to podcasts if they're not more than an hour each episode, because I just feel like I just want to invest my time in something.
Yep. Good. So that's it. Do you want to transition out of this and talk to the audience a little bit, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should go ahead and close it out for the YouTube video. Go ahead and give it a close, and then we can hang around for a minute and see if anybody's got any questions. Maybe find somebody to raid on Twitch or something like that. How about that?
I think that's a fantastic idea. Thank you guys.
All right.
All of you for watching us on YouTube, watching us on Twitch, listening to us in your vehicles. We thank you all so much. And if you have any feedback for us, please leave us a comment. Reach out to us on Twitter. Reach out to us on Instagram. My friend here, Mr. Ginger, is posting all the time, keeping it interesting. So, guys, check him out. Check us out. And I hope to hear from you guys. I really do. Give us your feedback. What do you want us to talk about?
Yes, absolutely. You can find us all the social links at the top of our stream here, right up here. So give us a follow, give us a shout out, and we do appreciate it, like the Beard said. So until next time, until episode 7 of the Ginger and the Beard podcast, let's just say bye-bye.
Yes, bye guys. Also, if you want to support us a little bit more, share us with your friends. Why not? Bye.
Yes, please.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Goodbye.